Welcome back to the PAC Sports Network for our halftime show as we are now joined by Thiel freshman guard Josie Lewis. Josie, first off, thanks so much for joining us today. What's it been like for you adjusting to life as a student athlete at the college level and just kind of getting used to balancing school with sports in college?
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me, first off. It's definitely been a bit of a huge adjustment, you know. College is a whole different world compared to high school. School's obviously a lot harder. I mean, the hours we have to put in for practice and all the things surrounding it, it's a lot of a time commitment, but I did kind of know that coming in. So it wasn't a challenge that I was unexpected, you know? It's been tough kind of balancing the classes and the workload, all the assignments, but the college schedule makes it a lot easier. I joke with my coach a lot. It's funny, like at 11 o'clock, I can just go in the gym and shoot instead of being in math or in history or things like that. So it was definitely a big adjustment, but the schedule makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, that you realize how much freedom you have and how much free time you
Yes.
have, and just in these weird, like you said, 11 o'clock, you can go to the gym. I that is a great point that you bring up. But I want to get into just what led you to Teal. I know that you're from the area, so I'm sure that had probably a little something to do with it. But what was it about the school, the program, the basketball team, just all of those other things that led you to wanting to be at Teal?
Yeah, I actually did not decide where I was going to school until very late. It was like March or April of my senior year, and all my friends knew where they were going, you know? But it was hard for me because I went on a million visits and I loved everybody that I met, you know? I had great visits in the pack, you know, great coaches, great campuses, and everything. But ultimately, Teal kind of always just stole my heart because it is so close to home. I am from Greenville and family's just huge to me. You know, I have two little nieces and a nephew, and I knew that I wanted to be close to them. And then once I got on campus, I mean, the professors are amazing, the campus is beautiful. And I think ultimately it was coach that kind of sold me. So I have a prior relationship with my coach. We actually trained together whenever I was in seventh grade. She was, you know, an older girl that I could look up to and was training with one of my coaches. So he invited me to practice and kind of a crazy full circle moment that I knew whenever she got that head coaching job, feels where I was going to end up.
Yeah, I'm glad you bring up the full circle moment, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But I'm sure just kind of a cool moment for you and Coach Vormelker, just being able to kind of look back at where you both have come as, you know, for her a player and now a coach, and for you as a player, I'm sure a special moment for both of you. But you had a really great high school career at Greenville High School, and you actually won the District 10 championship as a junior. What was that like for you, just winning that game, and what do you remember most about it?
It was kind of a surreal moment. So in Greenville history, we had never won before. We had been there one time prior, and then my freshman year, we also made it. So that was two times. And it was one of those things, you know, freshman year, we got basically blown out by Mercier's prep. It was not a great game to say the least, but it just kind of left that feeling in our stomachs like we want to come back and we want to win it. So junior year, it was surreal. I mean, the games leading up to it, I'd say were scarier than the championship itself. I think we kind of walked in and knew that we had it. So it was a crazy moment.
Well, I know that you actually played against now a current teammate of yours, Kelsey Seddon. You beat her team. You beat her Lakeview team. So, how much do you guys talk about that? And do you still have, I'm guessing, the bragging rights?
Yeah. I mean, you know, it is kind of weird. I played Kelsey a lot, but we're both the type of players to never talk. We don't really talk trash. We don't get in people's faces. We just aren't those players. So we kind of joked like our teams had such a big rivalry, but I never said a word to her. She never said a word to me. So, you know, I guess I do have those bragging rights, but I don't hold them over her head very often.
Yeah, don't want to have any rifts in the team, so that's probably smart on you to have not say that. But it's probably pretty cool that now, like I said, you know, you have the connection with Coach Vormelker, you've got the connection with Kelsey, so you have a little bit of that familiarity coming into college. Now, in terms of, you know, like you said, the connection you have with Jess Vormelker, how impactful was that for you? I know you mentioned that she was an older girl that you could look up to. I mean, how much impact did that have on your career, just seeing somebody that works so diligently on their craft and in their game?
Yeah, I mean, I think something that my parents have done ever since I was little that is just fantastic is they put me in front of the best people. So whenever I was little, my dad would take me to all the different basketball games, you know, and say like, "Hey, which girl do you want to be? Pick out which girl on the floor you want to be," you know? So I remember coming to games and watching Jess play. And, you know, as I got older, Coach Bat actually was like, "Hey, like there's this girl she's good, you know, and I think you want to be like her. So why don't we get in the gym together?" And from that point forward, Coach is just a fantastic person and athlete. She put so much time into basketball, but she also put so much time into everything else in life, and just making sure that she made a positive impact on the campus, especially. And I think that's something that resonates with me well. Like being a Greenville girl, I want to impact the high school like I did, the college like I'm looking forward to, So just kind of like that all-encompassing good role model is kind of what really locked me in.
What do you remember most about those training sessions? I mean, do you and coach maybe like joke about, whatever happened in those training sessions back in the day?
Yeah, I mean, I think I might have beat her in a shooting drill once, maybe, which was funny, little 13-year-old me. But I remember she was money. And she is to this day. She's gonna get on me for saying this, but she joins us shooting around on the gun all the time. She'll text me, "Hey, you want to come shoot?" And that girl can shoot the basketball, let me tell you. She is crazy. She has not lost it at all. But the what I remember most is her going 100% on every drill and making some shots for sure.
I have to ask, does she ever hop in practice with you guys?
All the time. I mean, one of the things that gives her the opportunity to is we are definitely shorthanded for sure. We have a small team right now, only 7 girls who can actually play. So I think she likes that a little more than she might tell people because she gets to hop in all of our drills. But it's a great time, and we're on her all the time. We play knockout, this, that. She wins basically every time. But it's a fun little bond that we can have.
Absolutely. And in a way, I mean, you're going up against a player like, Coach Jess Vormelker. You guys are going to get better too. I mean, that's just
100%.
inevitable. So that's awesome as well. But you've been having a great season on the hardwood. And I just want to hear, what do you think it's been in your game? What aspect of your game has allowed you to have such a strong freshman campaign?
Thank you, first off. It's definitely been an adjustment. The girls are taller, stronger, faster, the game's faster, 40 minutes instead of 32. Like there's a lot of adjustments, but I'd say just strength in like physicality and mentality for sure. That's something that my high school coach was really big on, was lifting and getting stronger, and that pushes you in the weight room and on the court, one of those things. And also, I think it's just kind of like this bond that I do have with coach. I told her, before games even started, if I'm not doing what you want me to do, yell at me. Like that's just kind of the player I am. That's kind of how I was raised. Like if I'm not doing what you want, tell me what you want me to do and I'll do it. But I think it's kind of like that honest relationship that we have where she can pull me to the side and be like, "Hey, why'd you do that? Why are you doing that? That's not working." Like use your head, one of those things. But I do think it is like that tough mentality, kind of tough love that I know that we both want the same goal. We have the same end result in mind. And so whatever I can do to help her and the team get there, that's what I want to do.
And I think also in a way, it probably allows for that communication between player and coach to be so fluid. And like you said, if there's something that she wants from you, she can say it without feeling like, she might be upsetting you or whatever it might be. And both of you become better in that way. And then ultimately it betters the team as well. But Josie, it's been
Mhm.
great to have you join us for our halftime show. Before we let you run, want to hear from you. I know, again, with it being your freshman year, I'm sure there's a lot of things that you've learned from day one of practice to now. But if you could go back in time, go back to the beginning of the season, what would be a piece of advice you would give yourself from 2, 3, 4 months ago about being a college basketball player?
Yeah, that's a tough one because I've definitely learned so much over just these few weeks. So I think that I would tell myself first off, confidence takes you far. You need to have more confidence in yourself, regardless of the position that you're in, and to always put more time in than you think you need. Always get a few more shots up, a few more minutes in the gym, a few more minutes in the weight room, a few more reps. I think looking back, you'll never regret doing more. So
Absolutely. Well, you've definitely been doing more, and I would also say you've been doing the most for your team as well. You're doing a great job on the hardwood. So again, thanks so much for joining us. Good luck the rest of the season, and have a wonderful rest of the rest of the year.
thank you so much. You as well.
That's Josie Lewis of Thiel Women's Basketball. Don't go anywhere, as we will have second half action coming up next on the PAC Sports Network.